what you're talking about.
Well, hopefully they're not put to a test, because small things can multiply when in combat, and disorder can grow very rapidly. But that's for you, and so that's all I need to say.
He says, as you say, and he leads you outside, down the same hallway that you went before. Rede again, sort of high steps over the rugs. And you come out the door. The guards are now gone, but he leads you over to the stable where you saw your horses being sent. And he indicates for you to wait outside, and he goes in and gathers your horses and brings them out. They seem to have been they were brushed down and rested, and then resaddled, almost as if expecting you to immediately leave. So they look well taken care of for the moments that you were inside. And he hands them to you and indicates again for you to follow, and he leads you back through the military camp, back to the gate, and has it opened, and then gives you directions and says, down at the end of the street near the center square, you'll find the frowning councilman that my lord indicated to you. Accommodations have already been established for you. You will meet Portia. Portia is the innkeeper, and she will take good care of you. And he waits a moment to see if you have anything to say. And then he bows his head and says, good day, gentlemen. And he walks back through the gate.
Would the gate be closed at this point?
Yeah, the gate closes behind him.
Is the building I marked up the inn we're going to?
No, let me grab it for you. That one.
And Rede would kind of glance up. Is it incredibly obvious that the honors for Falstad are above the Edrithian honors? You said his flag might be a little bit higher than the Edrithia's flag. Is that an obvious thing, or is that a potential trick of the eye?
Roll an insight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll an insight. I want to see if you can actually determine this. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You, from where you stand, since you're so close, you brush it off as a trick of the eye. It's something that seems innocuous.
Okie.
So yeah, okay. You guys are outside the fort gate, just in the middle of the street. Dusk is well brought on. It's almost into night. So houses are lit along the row, and you see orderly procession of torch bearers that are going along, lighting the lamps along the street.
Oh, it's so nice being inside a city for one.
Rede kind of glances over his shoulder from and looks at that gate, and then kind of nods and says, yeah.
Not hard to figure that out.
He's
well, guys,
not a very subtle guy.
Anybody have any plans for when you reach the city?
You said they're up on kind of like a hill right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would Rede be able to pick out kind of the one or more of the kind of local temples that he should be visiting?
You see the one temple that dominates your view. It is directly in front of you. It has a golden arched roof. It has a white exterior and the golden roof. From this way, with the light surrounding it from lamps and passing torch bearers, you see stained glass glittering against, sort of in front of you. It's just glittering. It's almost lighting up the night with how well it's lit. It's very bright and exquisite looking, even from this distance.
Is it possible to see
For
what god it's
Black-
dedicated to? From the distance?
Knowing what you know, you would assume it's Arandis, since Falstead is a war town, and Edrithia itself is very militaristic. I was going to explain this a little bit. I think it's probably time for a refresher of the Edrithian government,
Absolutely.
since we've
Sure.
had massive breaks and whatnot. So there's three portions of the Edrithian government. There's the Adjudicant Council and the Lord Marshal, which is the military arm. There's the Grand Magister, and the Collegium Genitor, which is basically the academics and the magi. They have a college that's devoted to learning and research. And then there's the High Priest or High Priestess of Arandis and the Church. And those three operate as different arms of the government. Most notably, the Lord Marshal is the de facto ruler of Edrithia. He is in charge of both the military as well as the Adjudicant Council, which functions as almost a bureaucracy that runs the government. The other two arms are basically support staff or council. The church councils the Lord Marshal. So Arandis in Toldran, in this world, Arandis is the god of war. So Edrithia and its holdings are dedicated almost exclusively to sort of a military type of caste system. Not caste system, that's too harsh. The military is very prominent in almost every aspect of life.
Okay, so with that in mind, then, the practical sovereign honors this guy just got would ring true. That would be kind of normal for their life right now.
Say that again?
Like, the fact that this guy is... The fact this guy's a military leader, and
Yes.
the fact that Edrithia is a more military state would mean that the fact that he had, very opulent, quarters, he has his own dining room, people are rendering him sovereign honors, and, respecting his space, that is a more normal thing. That's not out of the ordinary.
From what Rede knows from his upbringing in Edrithia, that is abnormal. Most of the high-ranking military officials that would retire or come from sort of a line that would be like this would not be as opulent. This is almost a degree above ridiculousness.
Okay. So, let's say, for the sake of argument, that, Rede is one of those, let's say, patriotic folks that really cares about, the leader of
Sure.
the country and things like that.
Sure.
He would be potentially concerned about what he saw in there, given to the extent of what he was seeing.
Concerned in what way?
Well, what I'm kind of picturing in my head is that
it's really up to you. I tried to paint the picture. So if
that's what
if Rede and his personality is such that he would not like seeing someone that has that position sort of displaying such opulence.
Well, I guess the question is this guy being treated above his station? Would that be something
Sure.
that would ring alarm bells? I guess the question.
Sure, and really none of you really know. I mean, this is you knew Jareth back in Altimer Cove, and he was a very humble guy, but that was also a small village, small
Right.
town. It would seem from what your sister had said to you in the letter that he is quite famous, but you have never heard of this guy before, yet his holdings seem to be, an order of magnitude way higher.
Right.
Such that he has these ancient rugs that are kept in pristine condition somehow that he's just using as a walkway.
Interesting. Well,
And look at his face. Just look at his face.
Just-
I showed you the picture.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. He looks like a smug.
Well, the
Caesar.
problem is
He's a grade A asshole. How about that?
if this is considered to be normal, Rede wouldn't say a damn thing. If this is abnormal, if this is treating a governor better than the president, Rede would be concerned. That's what I'm trying to.
Sure. And really, with your upbringing and your family, you never really went to, you knew adjudicant council members, but not on terms where you would be going to their house often or anything like that.
Gotcha.
That was what your parents did. You knew your parents' house and you knew of these type of people, but you aren't familiar with the degrees of state like this.
Gotcha. Okay. To answer then what Zixo is asking, Rede kind of gestures off to the kind of cathedral over there and says, "Well, I need to go visit over there and pay my respects." And kind of trails off as if he has other plans.
Okay. So if we're, you guys are in town, and last time we did something like this, it sort of was a bit hectic for me. So my idea this time is almost to take turns where we just go down the line and everybody says what they're going to do, and then we'll resolve it as I sort of figure the time will be, and then we'll come back around again and see what people are doing. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So Reed's gonna head towards the what is known as Cassidius's Abbey.
Well, he'd probably wait to hear what everybody else has to say.
Okay.
If they want to go to the inn first, he can wait till tomorrow.
So converse amongst yourselves. We'll have a minute, and then we'll decide what you guys are going to do.
Zixo is up for going straight to the inn and sort of holding it down as a base of operations while everybody else does what they need to do.
I sort of want to see if they have like a magic shop or something.
Okay.
And Kai wants to
Go ahead, Kai.
go to the blacksmith and buy some more of arrows that he has lost.
Okay.
Yeah, restocking the bullets.
And I need to find another library and a post office.
Library and a post office. Okay.
And then
Yeah, I would like to go to library as well.
And if everybody's going to be splitting up, Reed's plan would be to go to the Abbey and do his kind of normal thing, and then probably to start restocking on supplies.
Zixo to the inn. Elessar, what were you going to do?
Since I forgot to ask the guard if there were any magic shops, I'll probably just stick by the inn.
Oh, that's right, magic shop. That's what you were going to do. Okay. Magic shop.
Now I'll probably stick with Zixo first, unless I can find one.
Library and or mail. And Kai was going to
library return.
Oh, you're not going to go to the blacksmith first?
Yeah, I'm going to library first with it, and then
Library.
on the way back maybe.
Okay. All right. So let's do this here. All right. So, right there. Let's see, layer, token layer. There we go. Right there is the library, the city library. It has a fancy name. I just can't think of one right now, so just hold on. It'll come to me. Right here.
The last page.
Yeah. Right there is a magic shop, but there's also other choices. So here's the question. Are you guys going to go past the inn and drop off your stuff, or are you just going to split up right here?
Ree would probably at least find out where the inn is, check in, stable
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we'll do first. Everybody heads down to the inn. It's just at the end of the street, like was indicated. It's a large, tall building, sort of skinny for an inn, but seems to have at least 5 floors. It's just sort of sticking out way tall, right on the center square. And you enter, and you're met with sounds of reveling and laughter and clinking of mugs, music in the background, and it seems to be from a house band. Seems, almost like the Cantina band from Star Wars.
Do any of those musicians appear to be familiar
No
to us?
bards. No bards.
Okay.
So don't worry, no bards. Nobody's going to be trying to run away from you guys.
For now.
But there is a short lady who is right by the door, just sort of looking over everything. grandma-ish age. Has white hair with tied up into a bun, an apron on, and she's quite short, probably almost just a little taller than Zixo, but she's clearly human, just bowed down a little bit with age. But she turns to you as you enter and says, "Oh, welcome, gentlemen, to the Frowning Councilman. How can I help you?"
Well, the High Lord sent us here and recommended your inn to us.
"Oh, you are who Quintus said. Oh, great. Come, I have your rooms prepared, and I have a back room where you can take your meals if necessary, or you can take them out here, and we are quite ready. Come in." She indicates you guys to follow her as she turns and heads towards the stairs.
Finally, my name's getting more recognition. People will actually recognize.
When given sufficient advance notice.
Yeah. So she leads you all up to the third floor, about the middle of the building, and down at the end of a long hallway is a set of 4 rooms. She says, I apologize. There's 2 more rooms, but they're up on the 5th floor, and so here's these. If you want separate rooms, then I can give you 2 more up on the 5th floor on the top level. But I thought maybe best to keep you gentlemen together since
This building is that tall?
Yeah, it's got 5 stories.
Dang.
Since the Lord Regional Commander would like to speak with you again, I thought best to keep you all together.
That's probably for the best.
So she says, here are the keys, and she hands you 4 keys for all the rooms, and says, if you need anything, grab me or one of the girls. We'll be happy to help. Dinner has already been served, but if you still require something to eat, then I can send up one of my girls to feed you.
Oh, fantastic.
With that, she starts, waddling down the hall, whatever, sort of slowly making her way back down the hall to the stairs.
Fun.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go to my room. I'm going to drop off a couple things and start on my way.
Do you think we need to pay for it?
No, she didn't ask for any payment.
Oh.
And besides, even if they did, I could probably bargain my way into not paying.
Yeah, you can just play in the tavern. And
Their music's
critical
awful.
success.
Remember, they have
Critical
no
success.
bards. You'll have a
Yeah.
monopoly on the area.
Hey guys, can we hold off going real quick? I've got like 5 shows ahead of time.
Start living in the city.
It wouldn't be too bad. I mean, there's a couple of pretentious pricks here, but I can manage.
I could work as your manager just for the 15%.
See, look at that. We already got things going on here.
Okay.
All right.
What you guys
Who is
doing?
bunking up with the Bardmeister?
So Reed specifically chooses a room that does not have the Bardmeister.
Bard
Fair
Meister.
point.
Nice.
It doesn't bother me which room or which people is in the room for me.
Well, I'm going to sneak Zoe in and bring her up to one of those rooms.
Okay.
And if they don't allow me, then I'm sleeping out in the stables with the dog.
Okay. She sees you come back down and nods to you as you leave, and as you come back in with the massive mastiff, she gives you a quizzical look and says, "Oh, I'm sorry.
It's my alarm clock. Don't worry about it.
No, good sir. We don't allow pets inside."
Oh, well, I marched her right back outside the door, and I'll be asleep. I'll put her back in the stables, and I'm going to go get all my stuff and go back down and stay in the stables.
Okay.
He's weird like that. Ignore him.
He's also on the ground floor. You're on floor 3. You don't get to say anything.
I can hear thoughts. Hush.
You got a point.
That's
So wait, did
actually
you
a
just
lie.
speak that through your mind to her? Did you just freak her out
No.
like that?
That's a lie anyway. I can't read her thoughts.
Okay, Reed's gonna drop
In
off.
the morning, I will be able to.
Non-essentials.
That's a lie too. But he can read your thoughts.
Shut up.
All right, what did you say you were doing, Reed?
Reed's gonna drop off non-essentials. You know.
Okay.
He's still gonna remain armed and such because this is a city and bad things happen here. But
So dropping off your pack.
yeah, the basics, making sure he still has his money on him, but you know, a lot of the random stuff like rations and stuff he'll leave behind.
Okay. And then you're heading to the Abbey?
Yeah, from there, Reed's going to head to the Abbey.
Okay. Zixo, you're out in the stable. You just hanging out there?
Yeah, I'll ask Reed if he wants company. I can. It's always safer to travel in numbers.
And Reed would nod to him and said, if you like, I have to go pay my respects, pay my tithe.
You could pay me, and I'll just go do that for you if you want. You know, nudge him.
I don't think the gods allow respects in lieu of others. We can always ask them, but they don't commonly respond.
Okay.
Don't ask questions, man.
See,
I think somebody was going to a magic shop, right?
I was
Elessar.
Yeah, well, if I knew where it was, I assumed I asked the innkeeper. There's a magic shop nearby.
Well, we haven't divvied up all the money in the stack, right?
That is
also
true. We actually have a lot of treasure we have not divvied up.
Okay.
A lot of treasure we have not divvied up.
Well, it's not that much.
Let's
It's
do
like
that,
300, so it's less than 100 each.
There's
Oh,
a couple encounters where you haven't done it.
It's a little bit more than that. We have 370 gold pieces, 1,660 silver pieces. Sorry, no, that's more than that. 400 gold pieces, some gems. I mean, we have a fair amount of stuff in the loot list that we had never divvied up.
Yep.
And Kyle has this pouch
actually.
with uncountable about 150 gold coins.
Adrik. Yeah,
what is that, Kai? What?
Yeah, okay. I got this pouch with 150 gold coins.
Mm-hmm. That's I have that on the loot list.
You said uncounted.
Yep.
Uncounted. So what about that uncounted? Is it 150 flat or it's something?
We'll say 156.
100. Okay, I'll add that into the loot list.
Okay, so Kai puts that on the table with 156 gold coins.
Okay, so are we going to be splitting that up before we leave the before we leave the inn? Is that the plan?
Well, I thought it would make up if we wanted to go shopping or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'm expecting from the magic shop. So I'd probably just drop by there, see if they have anything I'm interested in, then probably go back to the inn, depending on how long it takes to travel to the shop.
Oh, it's a couple streets over.
Okay, so
it is getting to be nighttime. I mean, I think you need to take that into consideration. This is a city at nighttime.
Yep.
With all the implications there.
That's why Reed is specifically going to the Abbey.
Yeah, because in my town, the churches are the happening night spots.
Yeah,
no,
totally.
But they do tend to be open 24 hours.
I wonder, City Library would be open at night.
It most likely would not be, but then again, candles are 24 hours a day, so.
Yep.
But not allowed in libraries. Well,
not allowed in.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's a thing. That's a thing. But that doesn't matter to elf though, because we can see in the dark. So yeah. That would
yeah, but isn't that on a grayscale? That is a question. Would you be able to read with dark vision?
Yes, because the pages are...
I think so, yes.
Okay.
We can still discern images, thus it would be different and words.
It would be different shades of gray, but you could still see it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me know when you need me to do something. It sounds like you're divvying up all the stuff.
Okay, so
tell me what my share is at the end.
Okay, so is that what we're doing right now? We're gonna divvy up real quick.
Was somebody doing that, Matt?
Yes, do that.
Hadn't started yet, but I can do it now.
If you want to do that, why don't you go through the magic shop items that you wanted to look at? Wasn't that you, Cyclops?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go there and see if anything I like, and then I'll go back. If there's anything I like, I can just buy them tomorrow. Like in the morning, because we have to go back to the fort anyway.
Now that is on the border of the Shin Creek Narrows, right?
Yes.
So you might want to be careful going around there at night.
If you guys want a rundown of the different areas of the city, Portia would be, she's still standing right there by the door.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely ask her, like, what to avoid. And
Yeah, let's ask her if the city library would be open at this time
I'm assuming,
of day.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Otherwise,
number 10.
it will be in vain.
Sure.
On.
So a couple of you, one or two of you, approach Portia sort of with just a general list of questions on the area to sort of find out more about the city. And she sort of launches into it sounds almost a scripted reply of the features of the city. She starts with Pugland Square that you guys entered in on, and she tells about how it was named after a long ago stoneworker who lived out in the surrounding area. And the local folklore is that he was so upset with the way the local military was demanding him to bring bigger and bigger stones that he finally just brought a large stone and plonked it right inside the city gate and left, not even demanding payment.
That's my kind of spite.
The townsfolk who lived there at the time were sympathetic to the stoneworker, and so they didn't do anything with it. They just operated around it. And the military commander at the time was frustrated, so he sent his soldiers down to chip away at it, chip it into pieces, and deliver it up to the fort that needed to be repaired. So following the disassembly of the first stone, the stoneworker again brought a second stone, this time larger, and plonked it down in the same spot and left. And again, the military commander, quite perturbed, sent his soldiers down, and with much effort, they were able to chip away at the stone, break it into pieces small enough to transport it themselves up to the fort. A third time, this stone was the single largest stone anyone in the area had ever seen successfully brought in one piece. It was so large, there was actually controversy surrounding how it got through the gates, since it was wider than the gates. It arrived, and by the time the stoneworker was gone, it was early morning and nobody had been awake to see its arrival. The military commander ended up just leaving it where it was, realizing that the stoneworker was going to win this one, and he renegotiated the payment of the services for the stoneworker, and the slight inconvenience of the stone remained. Everybody just sort of operated around it, and it was served as a reminder to every military commander since then that the people in this town were as stubborn as a rock. She laughed at that.
I really like that.
She, sees that Rede is heading to the Abbey, and she says, oh, the beautiful Abbey. Oh, that's my phone. Hold on one second.
While you're grabbing that, just to double check things, guys, to make sure I have everything correct. First of all, everyone gets 68 gold. With there's going to be a leftover of 3 for the next divvy because I couldn't do it evenly. There's also, everybody gets 276 silver with 4 left over for next time. So that's the first thing.
208, that's 300.
So next question. Who's taking the fishing tackle? Because apparently we got some fishing tackle and stuff like that. Anybody wanted that particularly?
How much silver pieces was there?
What is it used for?
Fishing.
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 It's for fishing?
Yep.
I don't know if I would need that.
Okay, so remember, everybody gets 68 gold, 276 silver.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Let's update my character sheet.
Let's see. So Zixo wanted the fire wine, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll knock that off the list. Anybody specifically want the rot gut, the really bad alcohol?
I really doubt it.
I could probably do some tricks with that. Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, so 2 jugs of rot gut to you. Does
All right.
anybody not have a lantern or a light source?
I also need that.
Okay.
You
unless
probably need
unless
that.
you need it, because can you cast light?
I think I could learn it, but Reed's never asked for it.
Hmm.
I have to go look to see, but I think I
You also have a
can get
light cleric in the party.
that too.
That too.
But Reed does have like candles and stuff, so he has the option for the time being.
Yeah.
Now, I'd just like to confirm, you only divvied up what we found today, right?
So this is everything that was currently in the loot list, including the 156 gold piece bag.
Okay, that includes that bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm divvying all that up. So we'll say
But it does not include any of the gems.
Right, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So 3 flasks of oil and a hooded lantern to Dretan.
All right.
So I would recommend as you're divvying these out, you erase them from the loot
Yep,
list so that
that's
the loot
what I'm
list
doing.
is just the. Okay, perfect.
So we got 4 silver still and 3 gold still in the loot list just because it didn't divide nicely. Anybody calling the fishing tackle, or am I going to leave that in for now?
Just go. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say Reed still has the amulet and the 2 potions, so he'll get those. He'll ask about those tomorrow once he's going to stores. And the 2-handed sword's probably still on the horse. Okay, so someone took the pouch of fine grain powdery substance from the druids, I believe.
That was Elessar.
Okay, so Elessar got that. And Elessar also has the journal, right?
Yes.
Do you have you have the notes for it? You have the details of what it says?
It is in the loot list, is it?
Yeah, it's in the loot list. I'm just making sure I don't erase it if you don't have it already. I believe the 3 special feathers were already claimed, right?
I think one of you guys wanted one, but I kept the rest.
Okay, I'll let you guys. I think I heard Zixo said he wanted. Okay, we also have the pouch full of, I guess, knuckle bones. Did anybody claim that?
No.
No.
Okay, leave that in there for now. Okay, there are 5 gems for 100 gold pieces each. Unless we want to claim them, we could see about getting those sold. We also have 2 special 10 gold piece each gems that are small and transparent blue.
Those 100 gold piece gems, would one of them happen to be a pearl?
I don't know. Generally, Hockey's just given us generic. You have 5. They are this much.
That's why I'm inquiring now. If they happen to be a pearl, I would need one of those pearls.
What is that?
What's the number?
As I said again, Hockey broke up.
What's the gold piece value on them?
100.
And how many are there?
There are 5 of them.
There is a crystal barrel, a jade, a tourmaline, 2 tourmalines, and 3. No, what is going on? Why isn't it? Oh, what does that say?
I believe in
It
you.
might
You
be
do
a
this.
typo. Oh, a jet, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, no pearls.
Yeah, I just saw.
Okay, so we'll consider selling those. Who does anybody already have a potion of healing that we know of?
I do not.
Okay.
I think I was trying to use mine.
I used mine in the last fight.
I mean, Adrik.
I used mine a couple fights ago.
Okay.
I have
I think I'm the
one,
only one that has it.
lesser healing potion. Just one though.
Okay, so Rede would abstain from getting one because he can heal himself, so everybody gets one healing potion.
Yay!
So that'll divide that evenly.
Okay.
Hockey, I'm gonna leave.
Lesser or basic?
I just have potion of healing is all we have in here.
Probably lesser.
That's the standard 2D.
It's lesser potion of healing.
I'm gonna leave one in the loot list for Adrik because he'd be given one, but I can't obviously edit his file. 3 potions of fire resistance. I kind of would recommend that the frontline guys get that because fireballs get tossed around indiscriminately around here.
Yeah, they do. Go ahead and take that.
Yeah, but you don't have time to take the potion when that happens.
We
Of
can
course,
reaction
Adric's
potion.
not here to yell at.
Yeah.
My fireballs don't hit you.
Yeah, Adric's do, and that's the issue.
Well, I'll say Rede takes one because he'd probably actually have a use for it. Anybody else need one, or we want to leave that on the list?
Yeah.
If it's all right, Kai would want one fire potion, fire resisting potion.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
In case. Okay.
Okay, I have a potion of Hill Giant Strength, which I believe we had a scroll in the past. I don't think the potion ever got divvied out.
Yeah, the potion never was tossed around.
Naturally, that should probably be given to a melee fighter, but I don't know who would use it best.
I don't know though. Isn't it like a set amount of strength that you can? Does it just like put your strength on 25 or something like that, or is it like +6 strength?
Who knows?
It puts
Sorry, I
your
zoned
strength to Hill Giant, which is 19.
Yeah.
So it only gives you up to 19 strength. Then I don't know. Other people can use that.
That's true.
I'm assuming Rede already has 19 strength or 20.
He does not. No, that is a very, very large number.
Oh.
That's a very large number,
That's a
man.
very large number. Okay, so I'll leave that in there for now. I also have, you guys are going to have to help me remember, because this is from a while ago. We have a variety of scrolls in here. Bane, Shocking Grasp, Magic Missile, Shield of Faith, Barkskin, Call Lightning, and Elemental Bane. I believe...
Elemental Bane was used.
Okay, Elemental Bane's been used. Okay. Anybody know about the rest?
The Scroll of Bane wasn't used. I think it's in Adric's stuff right now. Magic Missile wasn't used.
Hockey, can you check Adric's and just let me know if that's in there?
I think Shield of
Yes.
Faith has been used as well, actually.
And
Yes,
as a
it was.
note, Hill Giant Strength is 21.
Nice.
So what am I checking on Adric's for?
Does he have a Scroll of Bane in his inventory?
Rune Dagger, Chunk of Gargoyle. No, he does not.
Okay, so I'll leave that in
He has a Shield of Faith scroll.
Okay, so we know where that
okay,
went.
you did not use it.
Anybody know what happened to Scroll Barkskin, Call Lightning, Shocking Grass, Magic Missile? Did any of us claim any of those?
I believe... Elessar, didn't you take the Barkskin one?
I remember us
think I did.
talking about it.
Oh yeah, actually, I think I did take the Barkskin one.
Okay,
I just
clearing
forgot to put
that. Any of the rest of them?
Nope, the rest of them I think we haven't used or defeated.
Okay. Anybody want to call any of those so we can get them out of the list?
I have no need for a Magic Missile. It will just be awkward. I've already got something better, I think.
Could any of them scrolls could be useful for a ranger? Any suggestion?
Scrolls can be used universally, right?
I think you actually have to...
Yeah, I think you have to be
Somewhat magical.
Let me see.
Or you have to be a rogue that can use any magical item.
I remember looking that up and trying to figure out the deal on that.
Let's see here.
Let's see.
Scrolls. 39. Most scrolls or spells stored in written form.
Any creature that can understand a written language can read the arcane script on a scroll
Yeah.
and attempt to activate it, but that's overridden by if the spell is on your class's list, you can use an action to read it, otherwise the scroll is illegible. So you can only use it if it's in your class, but anybody in that class can use it.
Okay.
I think that's why I took the bard skin. It also
What do
helps
you mean
when
it was
when I
overridden
shift
by?
it.
Is that part of?
I'm reading an answer on a website, and what they're saying is that, in D&D you got general rules, and specific overrides general. So the general rule says anyone can understand a written language, that can understand the language, can read the arcane script and activate it. But if it looks like there are some scrolls that are specific to class, and some rules that are general. So everyone can use a general, but if it's class specific, only that class can use it. But what I'm also seeing is that apparently there's a difference between a spell scroll and a scroll of blank.
It's a lot of things that I don't know.
We might just want to DM errata this and just have it done with.
It was my understanding, and I'm not looking at the book right now, that you have to be the class that can cast the spell in order to use the scroll.
Yeah, there's page 139 of the Dungeon Master's Guide that has it as magic item category scrolls. But then on page 200, there's spell scrolls.
Right.
That state the rule that Reed just said.
So what I'm gathering is that a scroll of blank is a one-time artifact. You pop it, it's gone, but anybody can use it.
There's no difference between that and a spell scroll, though. That's the same thing.
Huh. Weird. Why are they making the distinction then? Because what I'm reading seems to imply that there is a difference between those two. But
yeah, general.
I got no idea. Well, while we're looking that up, so we got a potion of fire resistance left, a potion of hill giant strength left.
Oh, okay. So not all scrolls are spell scrolls because there's stuff like scroll of protection.
Right. That's the description that I saw.
Yeah. So a spell scroll, which is basically everything I think that I've ever handed out, would be under the page 200 rules, which say you must have it as part of your class spell list.
Okay, got it. So what that means is that we have... So we've got Shocking Grasp, which is a cantrip only for sorcerers and wizards. So Dretan and Zixo could both claim that. We have...
Dretan's a warlock, not a sorcerer.
Oh, that's right.
Just sell it.
Magic Missile, I think Zixo already has.
Well, Dretan is also a bard. He could do that.
It's not on the Bard's list.
On the bard list.
Let me just do a double check on that. But I'm looking at Grimoire right now. So it doesn't list Bard. So Magic Missile, Zixo already has. And Call Lightning is a druid. So that could go to Elessar.
Yeah, I can take that as well. Call Lightning.
Go ahead and
It's
snag
a
that.
pretty useful.
And then
Useful DPS spell.
who gets to use Bane? Can Adrik actually use that? That is a cleric or a bard
spell.
option, so Adrik can actually keep
It's a-
that.
Yep.
Okay. So the only things we still have to do, we still have some gems we have to sell. We've still got a couple of variety of potions and some knickknacks. And that's the treasure loot list pretty much divvied up.
Just as a question, if you cast a spell from a scroll and it's a concentration spell, do you have to concentrate on it?
Yes.
Poop.
I think it'd be a little ridiculous if you didn't have to concentrate on a spell that you cast from a
Oh, it'll be
spell
cool.
scroll. There are some of them that require concentration for 8 hours, okay? That's ridiculous.
It'll still be cool.
It'd be cool, but it would be like overpowered as all hell.
Okay, so all that's divvied out. So where do we want to go from there?
If you're all done divvying it out, then
Yep.
then let's move on, because
Absolutely.
my voice I don't think is going to hold up very much longer. But
Yeah, I'm sorry that took so long. We had a lot
no,
of
that's all
stuff in
good.
there.
Did someone just? Did everybody come back? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, you just heard about Pugman's Square, Cassidius's Abbey. She begins to tell you about how it's named after Aurelius Cassidius, which was the high priest during the Reunification War. Falstead was established long ago as a bulwark against the First Empire forces threatening to march on Edrithia from the west. And Cassidius, fed up with the adjudicant council's dickering and lack of support for the fringe areas, the council just wanted to sort of sit back in Edrithia and wait for the First Empire to break themselves on the walls. Aurelius marched out to Falstead with his honor guard, which is called the Dawn Guard. The Dawn Guard protects the high priest or high priestess of the Church of Arandis. The council, facing the prospect of the First Empire overrunning Falstead and capturing a high priest, immediately sent reinforcements, and the Reunification Legion, which was led by Jareth Liburnius, the Altamar Cove mayor that you knew. Fort Falstead was established a long time ago, back before the beginning of the Reunification War, and way long ago, Falstead was just simply a small fishing village. Its key location sort of became evident on the very cusp of the Edrithian and the First Empire influences, and caused it to be a large factor and a larger strategic point as both sides fought over it and wanted to hold it. When Aurelius arrived with his Dawn Guard and the Edrithian Legion followed up, the adjudicant council members decided to send a more permanent force, and so Fort Falstead was reestablished as a strong point, and the city sort of grew up around it and was more established, the shoring up of the walls and the gates and everything. In recent times, it seems to be almost a vacation spot with the current Lord Regional Commander Ribera, and she sort of stops saying much other than to say that he quickly rose through the ranks on the merits of his family name, and many see him more as a cutthroat who was able to attain this position through cunning rather than through actual merit. She quickly moves on, points out the port, how the port is essential for a lot of the income in the area, as well as to keep a supply line from Edrithia, as it's several days faster to ship stuff than it is to travel by caravan or wagon train or anything. And then she says, and she jerks her thumb behind her, indicating the area of town to the north. She says, Shinkirk Narrows came about through a combination of the local thieves guild, and she sort of sneers at that. She has a distaste of it, and several marooned pirate groups. The Warren is home to nefarious folk who traffic in the black market, gambling, and other vices. The authorities allow it to exist to not wanting to stamp out the nest and see all the rats run elsewhere, she says. And she says that's basically all the other areas. The southwestern quadrant is the military camp, the main military camp. There's no shops or anything there, just the military men and their camp. So there's nothing of interest over there.
Good to know. Well, with that bit of information, we kind of thank her for the quite interesting history lesson, and would start making his way to the Abbey with Zixo if he wants to go with.
Sure, I'll go with you.
Okay. And Elessar, Dretan, Kai, you guys, where are you guys going?
Me and Kai are going to a library. They're so open.
Oh, and she says, "Oh, dearies, I'm sorry. The library closes at sunset. You can go see if some stragglers are there, but I'm sure you'll just be promptly kicked right back out.
And the thirst for knowledge never waits.
So, if that's the case, what about the blacksmith? Yes.
Blacksmith. She says, "Oh yes. Well, we've got hot pokers and furnace that is over to the east a little bit. That's one of the finest blacksmiths in the area. Not as good as Shattersteel, way out to the east, but it still is quite good metal he makes over there."
Shadowsteel. I think it's Shadowsteel's like by the gate or something.
No, she says, "Oh, you've never heard of Shattersteel? Oh, he's world renowned. He's not in this area though. He's in a whole different part of the world. He's halfway around the world, in fact. But every once in a while, we see a true Shattersteel make weapon, and it makes its way here, and you can be sure that it's quite highly valued."
Is there? How do you know if it's of Shadowsteel make? Does it just look very high quality, or is there engravings or anything in the?
Oh dear, you know if it's Shattersteel make.
All right.
Do you know anyone staying in your inn who has such a weapon, or we can talk to them?
Oh, no one that I know, dearie. Those come at quite the high price, and most people here are good with just the good normal steel that Ilmaril makes. He's the proprietor over there of hot pokers and furnace. A good elf lad.
An elf.
All right. Well,
All right.
what time does the magic shop close at sunset, or is it open?
Oh, I think good old Zagic over there. He's there for quite a while. He's open. He probably and she sort of darts her eyes left and right and conspiratorially raises her hand to sort of speak behind it and whisper very loudly, "He sells on the black market too, so I'm sure he's open."
All right.
Oh yes,
Well-
I'm sure he is. We believe you.
I'm going to ask the party. I don't know if any of you are interested in going to the magic shop as well, but I'm going to go to the blacksmith anyway to get myself started leather armor. Because that would be a nice little upgrade to my AC.
I'm gonna accompany you with that. I have to buy some more, restock my arrows. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, okay. So far, me and Kai is going to the blacksmith, or
Okay.
is Dretan joining us?
I'm still gonna take my top and head over to the library, see if they're still open. If there's anybody there that I can talk to.
All right.
Okay. Let's do that first, since you'd probably be walking along with Zixo and Rede. You sort of split off. You head to the library. The library is this sort of squat gray building with stairs leading down into it. It seems to have been sort of carved out of the ground. And you approach the door and notice that it's chained shut with a well-worn lock. There's no lights inside, but the lamp directly over the door is lit. But you don't really see any evidence of anybody there.
That in mind, there's no way inside besides breaking the lock. Yep. I will leave.
Okay. Zixo and Rede. I'm sorry, guys. My voice is going to give out here in a second, so we might have to be close to being done. But as you approach Cassidius's Abbey, it's a large white chapel with huge stained glass windows that you had seen from Fort Falstead. They rise high in the middle of a cleared square. The cobblestone leading up to the entrance is stained yellow, almost painted, giving a look of a golden path. Even at this hour at night, several monks with shaved heads and lanterns and clerics or priests in ceremonial robes are walking between the outbuildings in scattered groups. The monks prefer to walk in solitude. There's hardly more than a pair together at a time, while the priests and clerics are gathered into groups and slowly meandering around as they're discussing points of philosophy or doctrine. The outbuildings near the front of the abbey seem to be refectories or dormitories for the local clergy, as well as some public assistance and utility sheds that are mostly closed up at this point. Some stragglers, some people from the city streets can be seen entering one of the low roof buildings on the east end of the street opposite the abbey, across from the city library. Let me point it out to you. This one right here. The abbey grounds house what look to be a fresh garden of scented golden dawn blossoms. They smell almost like vanilla in the air. Mostly in this area, there's hushed reverential whispers, even from the priests and clerics, who probably are the loudest of the many groups, but they still walk mostly quietly, discussing things. And there's soft chanting of worshippers uttering prayers that can be heard coming from inside the abbey. Among the abbey grounds proper, you can feel almost as if it's quieter, as if the din of the city has been muted somewhat. You at first mistake it almost as night coming, but you can almost feel the palpable sense of the silence that hangs over and near the abbey, and sort of hushed reverential type of aura.
Rede probably heading directly towards whatever given place of worship the abbey has, if it has an outdoor kind of congregation area or an actual church.
Doors of the abbey, the doors of the main chapel are open, and you can see some of the clerics and priests walking to it or walking out of it.
Okay, so Rede would kind of head on in, try to confirm he knows the local god, and try to remind himself of what the general practices are that he should be observing.
Sure. Inside, you see a brightly lit space. Gold gleams from almost every corner and chandelier. Even at a distance, even as you're approaching the door, you sense the opulence oozing out of this place. Gold chandeliers hang every few feet, and masterworked wood pews are carved expertly with intricate spiritual runes and scripture. The clerics and priests that you pass are in heavy robes of the finest cloth. Heavy, fine-threaded rugs line the walkways, and plush pillows with gold threading rest in common areas for kneeling. The smell of incense and wood oil hangs heavy. Pews are brightly polished, and a few altar boys can be seen even scrubbing some of them. Near the entranceway and also toward the front of the nave, near the crossing, are pillars with large smoldering censers affixed to them and hanging out over the heads of the worshippers, swinging slightly. The abbey is somewhat sheltered from the noise, but even inside, it's almost hushed completely. The opulence and majesty of the building belie an imperceptible oppressive feeling. The heavy stonework and the clinging incense, the smell of the incense, combine to make you almost bow your head automatically without even realizing what you're doing as you enter the building.
And honestly, given how Rede kind of views this duty, I don't think he'd actually even notice. I think that would be just kind of natural for him. He kind of assumes it's a natural response to walking in anyways. Sure.
So as you approach and get closer to the nave, to the main altar, where the procession of priests have gone and begun to worship or sat in pews to sit quietly in contemplation with some of the other members of the city, a brother approaches you and Zixo, and notices your arms and armament, and with sort of a nervous smile addresses you in a whisper and says, "Oh, my brethren, what can we help you with here?"
Rede would, kind of glance to Zixo to see if he wants to say anything, but more otherwise would kind of keep his voice hushed as well, so as not to bother or disturbing those around him, and will indicate that he's come to pay his respects to the local god of the city, pay his tithe.